It is.
Yeah.
You are live.
This is the Senate Education Committee on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon of January 22nd. We've just finished a joint hearing with the House Committee on Education with regard to the education quality standards. And we're meeting just very briefly to take up something that Senator Weeks asked, suggested we would take up, which is to have get moving on the appointments to the board.
Yeah, so these are the governor's recommendations for positions of the Board of Libraries, the Community High School Vermont Board, and the State Board of Education. So this is just a matrix that I'll maintain until we finish. So what happens here is we receive nomination letters. They come from the governor's office. Our job as a committee, there's 5. So far, there's a total of 5 nominees. Our job as a committee is to contact these folks and reach out to them, okay? I have the contact information. One of our drills in a minute will be to take these nominees and delegate them to different members of the committee. So that, one person doesn't have to do much. So the drill is to reach out, contact them, but beforehand, do a little research. Look on LinkedIn, look on Facebook, do a search online, get a little background. You can request in your the highlight to the individuals. When you contact them, you can ask them for a copy of their resume and any kind of background they might offer, and use that when you actually do the contact, the call. Okay? And it is recommended you do a call. Some folks have done, email contact and such, but you learn a lot more in the process if you actually physically reach out to them.
Do we know if any of these people have actually been on this board before?
No, I don't know. There's no indication of that. So when you first reach out, ask those questions. Let's say, hey, look, I got your contact information from the governor's office. You've been nominated to the Board of Libraries, and you can ask them those initial questions right up front. Have you done this before? Are you interested in doing it? Can I have a copy of your resume? By the way, I'd like to set up a phone contact with you on such and such a date, and then have that conversation. So that's the contact point or portion. Then whoever has the individual nominee comes back into the committee during committee process, and you brief the nominee. Okay, so I've got James Saunders from Barry, Board of Libraries. I contacted him. He's interested. He's here's a couple highlights off his resume. Maybe some other information you may have gleaned off of LinkedIn or wherever. And then you recommend support for the nomination, or not. Maybe the person's not interested. So the recommendation to the committee is no. We take a vote. The vote goes back to the Secretary of the Senate, and then gets recorded in the journal. And depending, they all get voted on. They may get voted on as a package, maybe all 5 at one time. And you don't have to necessarily then brief the full Senate, but they may pull 1 or 2 out and have whoever is let's just call it the committee sponsor, the committee, delegate, to the brief the Senate on the nominee. Okay, it's more about, typically that happens more in a contentious situation, and a particular judge or something like that. But it happens. You have to be ready. You have to be ready for that process. You brief here. Okay, you vote. We vote. You brief. Essentially, be prepared to brief on the floor.
So what if they trickle out of here and they appear in the journal one at a time? Do they just sit there until we sort of arrange for them to be, for the vote to be taken? Or
it just, to me, this was Health and Welfare when we did this previously, and they would just appear in the journal, on their initiative. And I frankly didn't watch it close, that close, to see if they came out like the next day or within the week or whatever. But they did package them together, and I don't think, except for maybe one instance, they actually had us briefed. And we had maybe 25, 30 in that committee last year.
So I guess another way to ask that question is, do we want to send them out of here in groups? Or do we want to?
No, I'll tell you, the reality is, Terry's gonna jump up, he's gonna do it this afternoon. Okay, maybe some other member may like, okay, it's not the high priority, and they're doing something else, and it pops back up a couple weeks later, and it's done.
So it's gonna trickle out.
Yeah, it's gonna trickle out, and by the end of the session, we got them all done.
Okay.
And we're happy, and everybody walks on. Okay, there is one other recommendation in the process, is that once the vote on the floor is done, contact, whether it's a call or an email or whatever, follow up with the nominee and tell them, hey, oh, by the way, we just finished your whole process, and you pop back up. Some of these guys were nominated back in April and May, okay, but for whatever reason, the nomination didn't get given to the committee or given to the State House until now.
And the phone numbers will.
So we have them. Thank you, Will. I'll broadcast them. So what we're gonna do is, so I know that Senator Baumgart's requested the Board of Library member from Weston, and I'm not sure how you ended up with Putney, but maybe you volunteered.
I love Putney.
Okay.
Always
So-
take it.
so
Is that
you
your
take-
district?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
My
why-
favorite
yeah.
general store. so.
Yeah, but I'm not-
I think I recommended you.
Yeah. Okay, so the others, Barry, Shelburne, and Troy, do any of you guys have a preference?
Thought we were gonna give Keisha, Shelburne, she even
Okay.
thought that, cause that's in her district.
I'll do the Troy, I'll do the, Kill Greenwood
Okay,
student.
I'll take Saunders unless you want to give it.
I'm good.
Can I wrestle?
Yeah. You win.
Okay, I'll take the first one, the next,
So you want me to take Saunders then?
so tonight I'll pass you the contact information. We have email and we have phones. Again, thank you, Will. And then, just use your common sense on how you approach it. It's, is the person interested and are they qualified? And that's basically it.
Seemed good to me.
And that's it.
Okay, well, actually, to be clear, this is, we do have one more nominee because we have Secretary Saunders, and she's on the list, and I'll do my practice one first, but
I didn't see Secretary Saunders.
but you got misled, so.
No problem.
But we do have it, and it's stuck in the drawer, but I'll do my practice one first in the Board of Libraries, and we'll get us ready.
Do we have you may have already mentioned this, I apologize, but do we have a deadline or timeline?
Yeah, by the time you go home in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gotta be done.
Yeah.
And then whatever, I'm sure, so we're gonna get more. So my recommendation is just remove it from your plate.
Yeah. I just want to make sure it wasn't 2 weeks from now.
No, it is
Okay.
not.
So, but we send the nominations up and then we vote on the floor?
Yep.
So, yeah, so definitely by.
Well, congratulations.
Yay!
So we're talking about the nominees that have been given to us by the governor for different boards. And just in summary, this is something we want to reach out. I'm sure you've done this in other committees, but there is Shelburne.
Can I just text Joan?
Yeah.
Okay, this is usually what I do.
Okay. Good.
She's giving me baby presents, like, I don't know.
Okay. Good. So
Oh, so you know her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just asking if she still wants to serve on this board.
That's pretty cool.
But then you want to talk to her still, nevertheless, you want to talk to her, and,
I see her.
Yeah.
I'll probably see her at the library on Monday.
Okay.
well, the next bit of the drill is be able to talk about her for a couple minutes. Endorse her recommendation or nomination.
Here, not on the floor.
Or not.
Right here,
Okay,
but then be prepared to do it on the floor as well. Doesn't happen often,
Mm-hmm.
but if they pull that name out, her name out, and said, we want to, for whatever reason, we want a spotlight on this one.
Yeah. Okay.
And you'll get heads up on that. You'll get a couple days heads up.
Okay. This is serious.
Well, I don't know, just try.
Anything serious when it comes to David.
Yeah.
It's all serious.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can see
I
how
mean that
you've
as a
managed
compliment.
lots of projects. Yeah.
It's a compliment.
Yes.
Very, very helpful. I'm glad, thank you for doing this. I had nothing else to add, so we just met through this quickly. And because we're gonna be sitting for another hour or more, I think, I heard this would take a little while for them to get their own slide deck, so we'll be sitting probably from 3:45 to 5 anyway.
Can I ask I didn't anticipate that the governor was speaking.
No.
Okay.
I think, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Somebody said, I came to see the
believe
governor.
it's Secretary Saunders.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Somebody gonna record this?
I assume it will be recorded. It's going to be, I'm sure it'll be live streamed because it's public. And I assume therefore it will be,
Just like these. Just like these, I would believe.
Yeah,
and so.
yeah, I go back and, cause I don't hear so good sometimes, sitting way up in the corner.
Oh, actually-
We're gonna be down in the well
Yeah.
of the house.
You have to be able to see the screen today.
That's why we're not lining up to march in. We're just gonna gaggle in and.
Oh, and I'm glad you said that because we should all be in there by 3:40.
We're gonna do the Navy way, gaggle.
Gaggle.
I was gonna add a few terms, but we're live, so we'll leave it there.
I think we are done. Anybody have anything else? So Will and I are gonna spend a few